In this episode, we are going to explore the southwestern corner of Finland. We will visit historic Rauma, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, touristy Naantali, and Turku, Finland's oldest city. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. 'Cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah. Good morning. We slept here at the gas station. It's no longer cold. It's 15 degrees Celsius, which is actually pretty pleasant compared to what we've been through. But now there are mosquitoes. You can have everything, right? And the good part is that the RV is full of mosquitoes. I don't know where they came in, so that's gonna be interesting. Let's hit the road. Here we are in old Rauma, and well, let's explore. Cobblestone streets. Let's go all the way. I thought it was a real person. According to visitfinland.com, the town was founded in 1442, making it the third oldest in the country. Old Rauma here, as I said, UNESCO World Heritage Site, with all these wooden houses from the 18th and 19th centuries. Can't wait to get lost here, but first, let's get some breakfast. Hey, your cameo appearance. That's the heritage. Mira, it's wood and some kind of material. And then they cover them up to make them look pretty. Yep, I just made that up. Let's go into the Wanghang. They have all kinds of good stuff, but these lohileipä open sandwiches with the smoked salmon on top, they have become my new Finnish favorite. Everything comes wrapped in a newspaper. This is what I got. And this is that typical donut. And we've got a view of the old Rauma. Very cute small town here. Let's continue. I have it here, an old accordion. My grandmother had one of these in Cuba. We continue walking towards Market Square as the town is starting to come alive this morning. Here we are, Market Square, and the old town hall, nowadays a museum. Farmers market. The Posti. Here's the river, more like a creek, and there's a church back here. Let's check it out. This is the Church of the Holy Cross. Let's see if we can go inside. The clock tower was built in 1816, but the original building dates back to the 1500s. Yeah, the Church of the Holy Cross. Let's step inside. Wow, check this out. There's a sculpture of an old lady reading the hymnal. This is beautiful. Check out the lamp and the paintings on the ceiling and the sound of silence inside. Beautiful stained glass as well.
Well, this was actually a pleasant surprise. By the way, the church is still very much active, they have services and all that, and I read that sometimes they even have a guide on site. Just not today. Let's continue.
Exploring old Rauma.
Wouldn't it be nice to get lost on this maze of cobblestone streets? That is kind of what we would like to do. Rauma here is also very famous for its high-quality lace.
Café Prasen, but then it says La Bamba.
We are reaching the point where the cobblestones end and the pavement begins. And there is the new Rauma Town Hall. As soon as you step out of old Rauma, there's a modern city right there, waiting for you.
If you want to get a lamp. Summer fashions, perhaps? We are back by the farmers' market here.
Joking aside, there is something quite special about this town. Perhaps it's all these wooden constructions, some of them undergoing renovations, being brought back to their former beauty. By the way, Suomi might be the hardest language ever, but some words are quite easy. Actually, a lot of words, you just add an I to the end and you're good to go, like musiikki, for example. Other words are a little harder. Well, we happened to stumble upon this cemetery, which is actually the ruins of the Holy Trinity Church. These are the oldest historical ruins here in the city, built in the 14th century and burned to the ground in 1640. Actually, stones from here were used to build the clock tower at the Church of the Holy Cross, you know, the one across town, in 1816.
More summer fashion. We are getting close. Looks like we've got a new neighbor. Well, Rauma was nice. UNESCO World Heritage, by the way. And now we're going to Naantali, which is right next to Turku. Then tomorrow, hopefully, Helsinki.
Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah, I'm riding, riding, riding. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
You know, when you arrive at a town and you have no idea where you're going or where to park? Well, that's us right now, as we arrive here in Naantali. Not part of the original plan, by the way, but we've heard it's really nice and like a #1 tourist attraction here in Finland, so we have to check it out, right? We'll get our bearings soon enough. For some reason, we got this idea of going to Kultaranta, which is the summer residence of the president of Finland, and I guess we expected to just waltz in, but apparently you have to buy the tickets in advance in the town.
Oh well, epic fail.
I guess you get a smiley face when you go below the speed limit. Doesn't this look a little bit like Rauma? It would make sense since it is also one of the oldest towns in Finland. Something tells me we're not really supposed to come through this street, but we're already here. Ha! How funny! We actually expected to park here. I think we are like a meter too long. Well, to make a long story short, here's where we're going to park.
Here we are, €2 an hour. We just have to find a way to park to pay for it. The choice of two apps, Easy Park and this Taskuparkki app. We had Easy Park, so I think we're gonna be okay. Let's go eat.
What is this place? Very nice. That's where we wanted to go, Kultaranta. This place actually kind of reminds me of Cannes or Nice. It has that French Riviera kind of vibe, Finnish style. It is kind of warm today, so we're getting a sangria. And the salmon plate is amazingly good.
And this is our view here. The view from our table. Well, we ate at the place with the English menu. But let me tell you, by far, besides the burger in Varkaus, this was probably the best meal of the whole trip. The salmon sandwich was stupendous. Not a sandwich, the plate, the grilled salmon. Espresso?
After that meal, we definitely need an espresso.
That's where we ate.
By the way, as I said, this may not be UNESCO World Heritage, but it is also a very historic medieval town. It is also one of the gateways to the large archipelago here at the southwestern corner of Finland. I truly wish we had more time to explore that.
Well, this is called a softie. Salud, bon appetit.
Well, our neighbor is also trying to leave, so we'll let him go first. Very similar RV to ours. Next stop, Turku. Oh, that's a pretty bad wreck. Here in Turku, I am going to get introduced to real big city driving with the RV for the first time in Finland. Up until now, we've been in outskirts or smaller towns. While it is only Finland's sixth largest city, it has that big, dense European city feel to it, at least in this part. It is actually Finland's oldest city, originally settled in the 13th century, and it was the capital of the country until the Russians took over in 1809 and decided this was too close to Sweden and moved the capital to Helsinki. It can get stressful, let me tell you. It is not the same when you are planning and looking at a map. Then you are faced with the challenges of traffic, driving a vehicle which is larger than what you're used to.
was a little stressful driving in the city with this contraption, but we made it and we found parking right here in front of the cathedral. Let's go pay for the parking now and explore a little bit the city of Turku. There it is, Academy University. Well, let's go into the square. We are right here, number 2, Brinkala Mansion, and now we're going to the Brinkala Mansion Square. And that out there, that's the great old square. Very photogenic.
There's the old town hall. Now let's walk around to the medieval main street. Apparently, this street has been used as the backdrop for many period movies because of its authentic look. Let's walk towards the Aura River. Seems pretty lively. That's the other bank. There's a restaurant and bicycle parking. Now let's walk towards the cathedral. It is quite an impressive building. Let's step inside. Originally a Catholic cathedral, and today is the mother church of the Evangelical Lutheran Church of Finland. It was built out of wood in the 13th century, but most of what you see here today was rebuilt after the Great Fire of Turku in 1827. The altar painting is a work by Swedish artist Fredrik Westin, and it was painted in 1836. Here's Karin Mansdotter's tomb, Queen of Sweden. There's a picture of her on the stained glass.
Pretty impressive. Well, quite impressive, the cathedral. Now it's time to continue our journey. I think the RV is parked that way. Well, perhaps I've said it many times, but it is so cool to be able to park right here in the middle of town, next to the great cathedral.
Very nice area here by the river. First we're going to see the Turku castle, and then we're coming back here.
Here you have it. The Turku medieval castle.
This 13th century castle doesn't look like much from the outside, but there is a history museum inside which unfortunately is already closed. Don't be fooled by the sunny day. It is already 6 p.m.
Pretty neat neighborhood here. Does it again. Let's explore a little more of Turku. We could have parked here too if we had, if we had come earlier.
Here you have it, the Ora River, the gateway to the archipelago sea that reaches all the way to Stockholm. Here's a bit of tropical flavor, all the way here in Finland. We're gonna take a stroll along the riverbank, see what's going on, get the pulse of the city, if you will.
Había una vez un barquito chiquitito.
Pretty cool, hmm? Party boat, perhaps? Here's another boat with live Latin music, and judging by the music choice, I bet you they are Cuban. Yep, definitely. Ritmos Caribe is the name of the band. And what do we have here? Street art. Someone's doing yoga. More street art on this side of the river as well. And there goes the party boat. It is such a perfect weather afternoon. This here is the Waino Aaltonen Museum of Art. And there's Katarina. I'm telling you, I wish we were hungry or thirsty or I didn't have to continue driving towards Helsinki because it would have been very nice to have an adult beverage at one of these boats. You see? Thea Teddy. Just add an I to the end. Wouldn't it be nice if it worked like that with every word? And there it goes again, that boat. Apparently it sails from station to station throughout the river.
And it's kind of like a dinner party boat. That's a pretty cool concept.
Well, unfortunately, our time here in Turku is running out. There's a pretty big spider web.
Fresh Italian ice cream. Sergio's Ristorante Italiano. It's art. Art by the river.
Maybe I should take out my drone. Well, as you may have guessed, we are on our way to Helsinki, the capital of Finland. There's another one of those signs with the air and the road temperature, which I imagine it must be important in the winter when it's cold. Here we are, back where we started, Rastila, our familiar campground. On the next episode, we are going to explore Helsinki a little more, reluctantly return the RV and fly back to Florida.
At 10:54 p.m., the sun is setting in Helsinki. And here we are at the overflow parking lot.